Hello everybody and welcome. I am joined by Colin from Battle Systems, and today we are having a chat about core space. So, Colin, the game is just about ready to hit retail. Are you excited?
Yeah, excited is probably an understatement. This is what the last sort of 18 months of graft has been about, so we're really looking forward to getting this in everybody's hands. I think everyone's going to have a really good time. Yeah,
well, this video I want to actually sit down and chat to you just in case someone's been living under a rock, they don't know what it is, and they're going to walk into their local hobby store, see this, and I kind of want to give them a little bit of a feel and flavour of just exactly what kind of a universe they're jumping into.
Okay, so basically Core Space is set in our galaxy, okay, for sure. And it's set about 1,500 years in the future, and we've expanded. The galaxy is still pretty much unexplored, but the Perseus arm of the galaxy, we've met a lot of other, alien races and discovered that we're quite a kind of young race, the humans. Yeah. And so the galaxy is a tough place to live. There's been a few wars, everyone's kind of on speaking terms, but it's a pretty, there's some shiny parts and there's some really dirty parts.
Sounds like, Belfast.
I couldn't say.
No, because anytime you're here, you're stuck in here.
I've not seen it 6 years in a row, and I've seen some fields.
Yeah, you've seen some fields, some cows. You've not even got to the causeway, but
not even close.
Nature of the beast.
It is.
Right, now, the game itself, you guys have designed it so that it's a complete package inside one box.
Correct.
So the box itself, actually, you've done some gorgeous artwork for this.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that right on the cover you're saying you're salvaging, you're trading, you're going to adapt, and you're going to have to survive. Because this game, it's not easy mode.
It's not, no. So with this, obviously, you've got this issue with the galaxy. Around the black hole, there's an area called the Barrens. There's not, a great deal going on there, but the Purge have suddenly come from this area. The Purge are sort of a semi-sentient, sort of hive mind like robotic race, and they've got no self-preservation. They're just literally, over the last 50 years, they've just been slowly working their way through the galaxy, and they're just harvesting worlds, literally. They're starting to make the galaxy a little bit worried.
These robots, they're coming in, they're taking our jobs. There's no fields left by the time they're done. Someone forgot to program them to replant.
I would say so. Yeah, they're definitely classed as the monsters of the galaxy by everybody. So right at the end of the Perseus arm, a long way away, they're more of a bit of a myth, really, because it's going to take them a long time to get there. But right near the Barrens, near the centre of the galaxy, it's they are literally destroying worlds.
Now this is where I'm going to do air quotes, heroes come in.
Yeah.
Because we have traders who are trying to survive in this world, and this is the role that you as a player are going to take on, yeah? Absolutely.
So you're going to take on the traders. The traders are kind of a ragtag band of smugglers. They're kind of in that grey area between a criminal, do you know what I mean, and a smuggler. A smuggler's a criminal anyway, but in my eyes. But you've got they really know that if they can go where this purge activity is, there's massive opportunities to pick up a lot of salvage, a lot of equipment. You've got a ship that's falling apart around you, and you have just got to survive, and you're there to make money. And that's what it's all about. It can be a very short life, but if you do it well, it will pay off.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something that I really enjoyed about the game the first time you showed it to me, was the idea that you're not playing some martial hero. No, you are Bob, and Bob sees a shiny and Bob wants to get his shiny.
He does, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you've got to do as your captain says, but ultimately, you could get to a situation where, a trader from one particular crew ends up on someone else's crew.
Yeah.
So because, it's it is about the money. It's survival of the fittest, really.
Yeah.
And it's a tough place.
Now, one of the things you've done, I see this on the table, but I'm going to bring it up on screen. What comes in this box is a incredible modular set of terrain to lay out really cool sort of internals for running through different space stations, cities, big intergalactic shopping malls.
Totally.
That you and your crew are going to be docking at running in with your objective and picking up every scrap of loot that you can lay your hands on along the way.
Absolutely. Well, anyone who knows us for our terrain, you know, and we've been doing that for the past seven odd years. And in my eyes now, the only way to play a game is to, you know, immerse yourself in a beautiful environment. It's as much as part of the enjoyment of the game as anything else. Yeah. So, we just made sure that, you know, when you jump in and purchase core space, that you're gonna get everything. You're going to get the environment, you're going to get the beautiful miniatures, you're going to get all the components, everything that you possibly could need to jump straight in and just have a great time.
Yeah. Now, one question, just for my own clarification. Say I pick up the core set for core space.
Yep.
Funny that. You see all the boxes and all the little additional pieces. So tables, chairs, control consoles, beds. Is that all in the box?
Everything that you can see in that picture is in the box. Every counter, every peg, every box, every piece of furniture, the whole lot. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the whole package.
It is that. Yeah. There's nothing that there's nothing that you're not gonna have that's on there.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing with the big rulebook that you've got with the actual core set, every map that you've got in the rulebook you can actually make from the set of terrain that you get out of the box?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're gonna jump in on the retail set, which is you know what we're showing here, you're going to get a beautiful 104 page, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. 104 page rulebook, and in there you've got examples of maps, but you've got there's a 10 mission campaign in there as well, which of course. Everything in the box you can do with that. Yeah. Now, every map.
See, that's something I like, because there are some times whenever I'm coming to a game, and you know that final big mission, it's maybe telling me, oh no, you and your mate both need to grab one and you need to put them together to do this final big epic Uber mission. I like the fact that I can do everything just with the one package.
You can, providing you get to the end of the mission.
yeah, you might not survive.
It is a tough universe. You know, you might lose a crew member. You might have to, you know, save up and hire somebody new. It can be pretty tough. But we do have there is actually an additional side mission called a Salvage Mission, and you can kind of stop the campaign at any point in the game if you're not strong enough to continue on, and you can run a couple of side missions, see if you can, you know, do a bit more trading, a bit more, make some more money, get some more firepower behind you before you continue to tackle the campaign.
Yeah, I like the idea that that's engineered into it, and I do want to talk a little bit more in another video about just the actual mechanics of a campaign.
Yes, of course.
But if you're actually running into this area, there are some things on here which I absolutely adore, and one of the best mechanics that you guys do is the fact that these little crates, you know, it's just a little crate, but if I give it a rattle, there's stuff in here.
Yep.
And as you're running through the environment and through the world, you can actually get someone next to it, go, okay, I'm going to spend an action to search that, open it up, and hang on, I'll actually show this because I think I have a camera for this. So this is one of our little crates. There are little crates and there are big crates. Big crates hold big stuff, little crates hold little stuff.
Correct.
But if I open it up and pour some stuff out, you'll see, so inside here, I could have found myself a little knife. What have I got here?
You've got two knives. Oh, my word.
What's better than one knife? Two knives. You can also find, you know, someone has just left a
grenade. Wow, excellent. Okay.
Grenades are good.
Yeah, we like grenades.
Are great.
Yeah, we've learned that.
There's a moment, we've done some Let's Plays with Colin as well, and there was a moment in one of them where I had fun with grenades. You'd have thought I was Warren. Yeah.
The crates are really important for me. The unique real search area allows, rather than have a deck that you kind of can be shuffled and can kind of, you know, change mid-game depending on how it's happening. Once those crates are set, that's where they're going to be. Yeah. The law of physics is not going to change that. And of course, you know, with the dashboards as well, it's very important that you are able to search, and very important to me that you can take something from a crate and literally put it onto your character and make sure that they carry that out. And if they don't get off the game with that item, then they can't have it. You know, that's real life as far as I can see.
But it's very much a common sense game as well, because this is not a game where we're just going to be charging in and going, traitors there, kill them all. No, you're actually going to want to ignore each other for a time.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly designed so that, often you're going to be going for the same objective in a campaign. So you are technically enemies. However, what's going to happen is that because the Purge are here and you've got other things, you've got civilians wandering around that are kind of interacting with you, it could get to the point where at some point you're going to have to say, well, hang on a minute, if we don't stop shooting at each other, or if we don't start working together, none of us are going to get out alive.
Yeah.
And if you've had your crew through 5 or 6 games, you really don't want to lose any of your crew or any of your money or any of your equipment. So you will, more often than not, you might end up having to work together and then decide at which point that treaty ends.
Yeah, well, you could do some hard bargaining as well, because I've seen us, like one of the original Let's Plays we did, which was with the older rule set.
Correct.
We actually had to agree, right, I kind of need a lift out of here. Can I jump onto your ship to get out?
Yeah.
And if you agree to it, yeah, go for it.
Absolutely, yeah. And even the campaign itself is kind of designed to kind of, pit you against each other. And then, if you're not going to work together at certain areas through the campaign, you're not going to get through it. Simple as that. So,
and one of the other things is you've also got a solo play in
totally
this, because you're not just playing against another crew. The game board itself is coming after you.
Totally, yeah. I mean, the game is full of NPCs. So in the core game, you, of course, get the Purge, which is fantastic. They're the major threat. But you've also got things like civilians in the core game as well. Now, those civilians, like normal civilians, they're going to wander around. They might run and hide. They might attack you. They might trade with you. They might join you. And we've got a unique dice, a chance dice, which basically, randomly allocates their actions depending on what's happening on the board. And you know what? You can even talk to them. You can try and persuade them to join your crew or to do a particular thing. Yeah. So, it's really important for me that if you've got a really nice environment, that, you have got... you have got things. There will be civilians wandering around. Do you know what I mean? So it's important that they're in the game.
Yeah, and then eventually things might just go to pot, and you're just cornered, surrounded, going, "Oh crap! What happened today? I wish I had just stayed in my bunk."
Yeah, totally.
And then the Purge. I mean, there's something I have to say. The artwork for this is a harvester. This is the bare bones line infantry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, and I don't know if you intended or not, but there's something a little bit feminine about this design.
With the harvesters, what I wanted, because the Purge are, as you get through into the universe, the Purge, you might discover that the Purge are really, they're controlled by something else. They're put together and they're designed to be able to interact with our galaxy. So if they need to invade and they need to get in the building, they're going to need to get through a door or turn a handle, etc. So they're designed to be humanoid shape. And so I wanted something that was very basic. There's no frills, there's no sort of shiny go faster stripes here. They're just designed for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to cleanse areas very, very quickly. So
and then because of the way the game goes, the higher the threat goes during a game, the higher levels. So if I quickly flick back, so the first one, you've got the Harvester. This is basic line infantry. You'll then start seeing Devastators. You'll then start seeing Assassins. I've not seen this before.
Okay, so this one is this is part of something that's coming out later this year. This is
okay. So this is not core set.
This is not core set. Okay. Yeah, this is the Mother and the Spiders. We spent so much time on core space that we've also gone in and kind of future-proofed the game for years and years and years. So we're going to make sure that we can get some more and more threats as your crew become more and more powerful over many campaigns. I'm sure you will be able to maybe. I hope you don't, but you might be able to face the Mother. These are the gatherers. What happens is that their job is to come into the board a lot later on into a campaign when the hostility is really high, and they will start mopping up all the dead. So ordinarily in core space, if you have a trader and they are defeated on the board, you'd extract them. You'd be able to teleport them out or save them or do something. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not
risky biscuits.
It is very, very risky biscuits. However, if the Mother's on the board and they make contact with your trader, they're dead. They've been liquefied.
I see. So it kind of pushes you to a stage where you maybe don't want to just run away and abandon them. You're maybe going to run in with a medi stem and go, okay, get up, let's go.
Exactly, yeah. If there's a mother on the board, you really don't want to be leaving them for extraction, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Purge have got a very unique energy source, which is sort of part of the universe, and they're harvesting worlds to create this energy source. Nobody knows why yet, there's more to come on that.
Okay, well, we'll keep our ear to the ground, every time I see the table shots of this, it just instantly drops me into the world. It's one of those games that has the most epic backdrop.
Yep.
You know, there's no abstraction. You are actually here. And that's just absolutely lovely. Oh, hello.
Okay, so
This looks like a fun guy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Zed. Again, future-proofing the game. We're looking at various different characters that you can interact with over time. He's head of a sort of a criminal gang organization, Zed is definitely not dead at the moment. So with the game, obviously you've got the NPCs, like we said. What you do have the opportunity to do is to bring in these kind of characters. So if you want to, expand your game and add new content, you can literally say, well, I'm going to pick up the gang pack, and that'll come with like unique furniture, and you will have Zed and his ragtag crew, as it were. And with Zed, it's an NPC. It'll move around. It'll interact because they're gangers. They're different from civilians. They will obviously be a lot more aggressive. So their NPC mechanic is different. However, particularly with Zed's gang, if you like those characters, you can actually flip their cards and use them as traders as well. So if you want a real criminal gang traders that are definitely not treading the grey, they're well into the black, then you can field these guys as your traders as well, with Zed leading them.
I like the idea that in the future we'll be able to not just pick up more heroes to play with, but more sort of villain-ish characters.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Again, just more surrounded. It's all gone to pot.
Ariana and the crew, up against the harvesters, and that's the thing about the game. As the hostility gets higher and higher, and your health is low and your ammo's running out, and you'll often end up in a situation like this thinking, why did I search that additional why did I go back for that cargo crate? I was so near to my airlock.
That greed.
I've lost many a character over greed, I'm telling you that now.
I've seen it come close run for me a few times. But then the characters themselves, so the traders, I'm guessing there's a wide breadth of different traders.
There is, and again, to support the range, I mean, you get a couple of crews straight in the box, and there's each crew comes with 4 characters, but we have expanded the traders as well. So this is Alicia, part of the Yamato crew, and she's a cracking character, and every character has got a full backstory, so that's really good as well, and it just allows you to, and you can mix and match as well. You don't have to. We've supplied the crews. We've given them a ship. We've given them a name. This is the crew, a backstory, what they're doing together. However, it's down to you to decide what happens, and you can literally pick a captain and then pick crews from any of the available crews, and you're fine.
Yeah. I love the artwork that you've done for these as well. Who is this man?
This is Trevor. He is a civilian. He watches the rich and famous from the outside. Like, he's the one that's going to be cleaning the pipes of the jacuzzi for the rich and famous, as it were. So he will, he's a civilian. He'll be wandering around.
I wonder why he wouldn't join, a trader crew.
Well, of course, and if you do persuade him to join, you can flip over his civilian card, and he's got all the trader stats and everything to become a trader for your crew as well. Probably make a pretty good tech, I would say.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then moving along, is this one of our main characters?
This is one of the traders. This is Hoskins. Hoskins is completely nuts. The whole idea of core space is that core space is actually how you travel. You've got these Lagrange points, which are basically kind of like warp gates, and that's how you travel. But they're so heavily policed that the traders themselves can't go there because they're going to get searched. They're going to lose all their loot. So they travel through core space, which is a much smaller universe. You dip into it. There's an exit point. It kind of sucks you back out. Now there was an accident with her in core space, and so she's only really kind of normal whilst traveling through core space. Any other time, which is when you're playing, she's completely nuts because part of her personality is kind of trapped in core space. She's not altogether there, and incredibly violent. I mean, beyond belief.
I'm digging it. And then of course with you guys doing the other terrain ranges, you could actually build something like this if you want to go to one of the more bright and sparkly bits of the universe.
Totally, absolutely. And I mean, what we've done with Core Space is we've made sure that it is fully compatible with our terrain range. In fact, about 2.5 years ago, when we were designing some of this terrain and putting it up, we were already designing Core Space. So we made sure that all the cargo crates that you get in it and all of everything was already usable for Core Space. Which is really good, and we've made sure that things like the Purge have got specific abilities that enable them to still be a threat on a multi-level environment. We've given them special rules that allow them to cascade down. So, as normally is the case, these robots can jump and climb, and they'll spill over the gantries down on top of you, they're pretty menacing, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know that if I'm someone who's out there and I've already picked up a lot of the battle systems terrain range, picking up this game, it gives me more of that terrain, but it also means that I already have multiple places that I can have my trader crews to be fighting through, which I think is very cool. It
is really important because, you don't want to just be fighting through one environment. You might want to go planet side and, and have sort of a battle on a kind of a dusty backwater outpost kind of thing.
Okay, I'm calling dibs on that for one of our last plays.
Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, do it.
Now, this is one of the clever pieces for the game, is the character board.
Yeah.
And from what I'm seeing here, you've actually changed it up a little bit from what I initially saw from the prototypes we had.
Yes.
So I'm seeing on the character board here, you've actually done an additional little cutout. Was there a specific reason for that?
Yeah, so basically what we did, you've got an area, so at the top you've got your character card.
Yeah.
And on there you've got points, values and various other things that we've done for future proofing of some cool stuff that's coming down the line. Mm-hmm. All your stats, your health, your career, everything. Underneath you've got a little tray where you can see he's got like a little energy pistol and some ship parts, etc. What happens is originally we had it so that you would put the armor in there, but now you pick the armor up. If you want it to be protected by the armor, you pop it into that little slot there. And that way it frees up a little bit more space in your tray, and it's more like you're wearing the armor. And of course underneath you can see that this particular guy has got a class board that says crewman, but you could be soldier, you could be hunter, you could be a tech, you could be a support.
Yeah, this is one of those deeper levels of customization.
Augmented, absolutely. And of course you've then got pegs to track your health and your skills and your ammunition, so that you're not having a problem where you've got cards spilling everything.
Yeah.
And if you end up on one side of the board, you can just pick that up, go around the other side, so that you don't have to drag things around. And of course, you never know that this is Beck. He might end up on your crew, so I might have to pass the whole entire dashboard. If I'm really desperate, you might say, well, you know what? If you want to get out alive, I'm taking your crew member.
Oh, that would be a harsh deal.
It would be, yeah, but it's that or possibly, certain death. So
one thing I do notice that's different from the picture to what I have in my hand here is, if I can get this to sit, I'll hold it in my hand, but you've actually increased the length of the pegs.
Yeah, I mean, we've done massive play testing with this game.
Yeah.
And we've gone to immense details about what is the best way. Mm-hmm. But this game is kind of it's almost like an RPG with the character progression and stuff.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to do is make sure that it was really quick and simple to play. So we made sure the rules play very, very fast based on your choices. But once that was done and we were happy, we just went that extra mile, and it's like, what else can we change? And it's like, well, if we make the pegs longer, it's easier to pull out.
Yeah.
If we use a die cut a certain way on stamping a sheet, it means that there's a lip on it, which means when you put a counter down, it's easier to pick up. Yeah. So we've just gone, we're the cardboard guys, so we know about this stuff. So we've just gone nuts with that.
The detail to go into for that, to actually be considering that, it makes me really feel like you do care about the game, and it is a true passion. Everybody
says it, but we are, we're gamers, man.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're here because we love games. Otherwise, I'll be selling pencils or something. Do you know what I mean? It's all the same. Gaming is not the easy option. Making board games is not the easy option. But I think if you really love what you do, then I believe you'll bring a good product to the table.
Yeah. Again, it's a form of expression, a form of telling cool stories, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing with games. We're trying to tell cool stories.
Totally. Look, I can't afford to be a film director. I just don't have those multiple millions of pounds. But I've got my film set. I've got my characters, my cast. I've got everything I need.
Yeah.
And I can I can be in my own movie every day.
Yep, and you don't have to deal with, an A-lister being a little bit stroppy on set.
No. The odd player, but
I suppose, everyone has one. Now, this is another one of the
expansions.
The expansions. So who are these guys?
So these are the security, a bit like the civilians. These guys, in fact, these guys come with their own unique dice, a security dice. And on that dice, they will randomly kind of, if you like, scatter around the environment. And they might question you. They might search you and take some of your equipment. Of course, they might attack you and so on and so forth as well.
Yeah.
So
this is more of our galactic police force.
Totally, yeah. So we've got the Galactic Corporation,
okay.
and they have their police force. And in fact, this guy is the Juggernaut. This is the hammer of their force. Very, very powerful. He's got a fair range combat, but in close range.
I'm
if he hits you,
he will just rock in and lump you on.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. So yeah, the police will come in, like the gangs. They're an NPC, so they will come in, and they will. Now the great thing is if you're having a real tough time against the Purge, they will probably come in and help you. But you know what? If you're not, the fire's going to be on you because you're the bad guys here, really. As far as the Galactic Corporation,
why are you rummaging through those crates? That's not yours.
Yeah, what are you even doing here? Yeah. So I recognise your ship.
Yeah. It's just So this is that moment you're talking about, where instead of the Purge getting you, there's no Purge about, and all of a sudden the Galactic Corps is going, no, you shouldn't be here. Come along with us.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're totally surrounding this poor crew. You've got Sondar there, the captain. You've got Big Chit next to him, who is pretty tough, but I don't know. There's quite a lot of Galactic Corps there, and a director. Hunter and Satine,
and then eventually you may just have to boogie.
Yes, absolutely. Looks like they're just backing into their shuttle there. So, definitely.
I don't know if they're running for the shuttle or if the Galactic Corps is just going, no, you must leave. You're not allowed to park here. You're double park. Get away.
You know what? They really don't care. They don't discriminate. So, wow, Chunk.
More gangers. I think we've seen this guy before.
Yes, this is if you like Zed's hammer. This is Chunk. He's you can probably tell from the artwork he's really not all there. He's when the Galactic
he's been through the wars a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. When the Galactic Corps made the Juggernaut, they kind of to be their big fist. They genetically engineer him. They keep him in a nice sort of hotel room, and he's like superhuman. Zed doesn't do that. He just feeds his guy with chemicals until he grows, and it's just done his brain in by the look of it.
Now, there's one thing I notice here. So the weapon he's holding.
Okay.
I was having a look through some of the tokens in the final set, and I think I can get that as a weapon, can't I?
You can indeed. I'm a big kind of, I'm not a violent guy, really not, but I'm big into weapons.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of time and effort gone into making sure that there's a real diverse set of weapons. And in fact, before we did any sculpts to any of the characters, what we actually did, we had a big load of weapons sculpted up that were directly from the game that you can find. So the characters are not just holding random weapons. Both that knife and that gun are actual tokens that you can get within the game. So and often the armor they're wearing as well, you'll find that it's actually the armor from the characters that they're wearing, which is really cool. Yeah,
and then whenever you're translating that to the miniatures, you've actually done a really nice job of it.
Absolutely. We got Jace is holding the antique pistol there. We've got a military pistol in his other hand.
Beck's got just a little Outlands pistol, I think.
Absolutely. And Renton there, far side with the white gun. That's a shock rifle, the one that gives you like an easy reload, as it were. So yeah. Cool.
All right, now, actually, there is one thing I want to show off, because you actually have production miniatures now, because everything we've played with in our Let's Play so far, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But those are resins, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah, the master resins.
Yeah, so if I can find... Where is he? Here's Ganeek.
Yeah.
And this is Ganeek painted up in resin. What you're going to get in the set is this lovely coloured version of him, and it's a nice detail that you guys went into, is that you've actually went for coloured plastics in the set, isn't it?
Yeah. Earlier on when I was saying that we just made sure everything was absolutely perfect, right near before we started production, there was one thing that is really expensive to do, but I was just like, okay, it has to be done, yeah. And I was like, it was never in the plan, but we've basically coloured it, so straight from the box, you can easily distinguish between the different antagonists.
Yeah, so your Purge are in a really nice like orangey brown.
Yeah, we call that tan. I'm famous
Tan?
for liking tan, so we'll call it tan. Yeah.
Okay, and then for the actual traders and civilians, is it? Or
Yeah.
just traders?
We've got just,
Are in
yeah.
grey?
And we've really gone to town on making sure we've got the right Pantones as well, because often you will have particular colours in games which just don't show off the detail.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got a lot of experience in battle systems now to know about these kind of things. So we've literally used specific Pantones that we've already know working in other games and stuff to make sure that we get just the right colours for that. And the detail on the miniatures is really, really good, because again, what we've done, we go through an extra phase in the production, which involves exaggerating certain things that we know will actually shrink back in the mold, and that way we've got make sure that, you know, our characters will have things like eyebrows and you know, and they don't disappear and they don't have like dome faces. You know, we make sure that all the detail on the miniatures is really, really good.
Well, I suppose there is a learning curve on the technology, but one thing I like is because you've got the colours, you can actually pretty quickly pick out where they all are whenever you're actually playing. So it makes, even whenever you just pull it out the box, it makes it readable.
Totally. We've got a very detailed, you know, fully pre-coloured, if you like, set. So there's no painting or anything required. But because of that, it's quite busy, which is exactly what you want. So what you don't want is a field of grey.
Exactly.
So the colours really help to pick it out. And the core game, for your traders as well, the core game come with little base tags that you can tag on to show that they're, you know, which crew's which as well. Yeah. So you're covered in everything, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think the only thing left to say, Colin, is to leave it out to everybody out there. Drop your comments below. Tell us what you think of Core Space. Tell us what you think of the game, what you think of the set, and the actual idea behind this game. And I think we'll move on. We will see you again very soon.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.